Buckle up for another episode of Ghost Phasers, the Supernatural Rewatch Podcast. My name is Richard, and sitting shotgun, as always, is my brother in podcasting, Reed.
Hey, oh my God!
Oh, what is going on? Are you okay? Oh my God! Oh my God!
Everything's on fire!
Oh my God! Did you lose that lucky foot?
The what?
The lucky rabbit's foot.
Oh no, I just threw it out.
Let's get into it.
Ghost Phasers! We're facing ghosts, when others will not, we're ghosts! Ghost Phasers! Stay in the kitchen when the kitchen gets hot! Ghost Phasers! We're facing nightmare, we're facing dread! Ghost Phasers! We're facing faceless, we're facing dead!
Welcome to Ghost Phasers. Today we're discussing Season 3, Episode 3, Bad Day at Black Rock. And today our guests from the podcast, This Is Not a Show, welcome Keith, Carey, and Jordan Leigh.
Hey!
Hello.
We're on a show.
Look at that.
Welcome.
Thank you. And you did. There was nothing, no problems getting into it. You didn't jump off a flight. It's all, you immediately were ready for this podcast and knew it was happening, and we're happy to be here.
It would be funny if they're still at the terminal. You just hear planes taking off in the background.
Yeah.
Shit.
The TSA is coming to kill me because I've snuck my laptop through, even though I don't have a ticket.
Yeah. Well, did you hear?
My ticket. It was a whole thing.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, no, the guy, I tried to hand him my ticket and he goes, I just need you to remove your mask. And I was like, okay. So I pulled the mask down and he goes, I don't need your phone. Goodbye.
They're like, at this airport, we're fine with terrorists, but no liberal cucks with their mask attendant.
I wanted to see my ID and my mouth, and just because it was in the bathroom doesn't mean it was not a TSA agent.
Usually, let me see your mouth as more of a boarding process for the Greyhound.
Did you hear that it was the first year of the Comedy Fest, and we had Kyle and Rivers and Mr. Goodnight all perform in an airport terminal?
I don't think I realized they performed at the airport.
Yeah,
I mean, they also performed at the festival, but they were made to perform at an airport terminal on the way up.
The airline was a sponsor, and they were like, "Hey, we have this great idea. We want them to perform on the plane." And then they asked everybody who was in charge, and they were like, "No, you can't do that. This isn't the '70s." And so they're like, "Okay, we'll have them just perform in the terminal." And so I have video of it, and it's them performing, and there's like people literally like cutting through behind them, like you can hear all of the really loud like announcements overhead.
I cannot imagine like an air marshal seeing Mr. Goodnight and not doing something about it. You look at that and you're like, well, this is the day you were preparing for, and then
Yeah. Yeah, this is really good. I know, Jordan, you were a fan, but did you go through the whole series, or is it just the first few seasons?
No, I stopped watching, I think around season 10. When I finally was like, I can't deal with everybody coming back to life anymore. I'm like 22 now. I gotta move on.
Fair. I mean, I'm surprised you got through 10 seasons.
I mean, I would say most people probably jump off when it gets rough to watch, like in season 6 and 7. Yeah. So, like, you persevered. You were like really loyal for a bit there.
Well, I was very drunk for a very long time. So
for 4 years?
Rock Bottom was season 10 of Supernatural.
That's incredible.
Season 10 of Supernatural was like, I need to make a change.
Yes. I can't be doing this. I'm hurting my family.
I got to take 12 steps to the TV and turn it the fuck off.
That's incredible.
That's awesome.
So Keith, did you know the show even existed?
I knew of it. I feel like I would see it pop up on Twitter as sort of like, it seems like it exists in that weird world of vague horny fandom that a lot of Joss Whedon properties and Doctor Who seem to live, where it's you're too much of a dork to be a Star Wars person. So this is the next level of nerd shit.
Look at this man. He picks up most of the women he dates at Hot Topic. So about this show.
Look, your hit for hit with getting them legal then is impressive.
It seemed like Buffy for dudes was always my my understanding of what this show was.
That's I mean, that's not the worst
No.
shorthand for it.
That's
you
not
know?
bad, to be honest, because most people's perspective, I mean, because this is the ship that, like, sent 1,000 other ships out, right? Like, this was the one that was like, oh, it's spooky shit that like girls like, right? All right, we'll just make a Vampire's Diaries, and we don't have to worry about the plot with these ones. Like,
Well, we've talked about it a lot. The marketing for this show initially was like "hot guys, hot show."
That was literally the, like,
that's
commercial.
the tagline. But like the show itself is very clearly aimed at like, are you a cool dude that likes Led Zeppelin and you want to see someone kick a vampire in the face? It's like that's clearly what the show is. But all of the shows that sort of spawned off of it were like, I'm too beautiful, but also I need to drink your blood. They were like way more kind of that like Twilight oriented than Supernatural ever was. But Supernatural, I think, got marketing lumped in with them.
yeah, exactly. It is kind of like Buffy for boys a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty decent thing. So if you don't like that, you won't like this show.
I don't even hate this show. The only episode I've ever seen was this one for you guys.
Totally, absolutely, and I appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
I was like,
We love dropping people in without context.
oh, it's the best. It's the best part of this show. Give them, especially a show that's like dependent on lore.
Yeah. Because I feel like half of your episodes were like super diehard nerds, and the other half of dudes just like, is it a werewolf or what the fuck?
Yeah. Basically,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. So let's talk a bit about this show. So this episode aired October 17th, 2007.
Where were you October 17th, 2007?
Weirdly finding out about 9/11. It took me a while. That's where I was. I don't know. There was a really long delay on my TV.
And it really pissed him off because he had taken that trip to New York expressly to see those towers.
What do you mean it's closed?
He's looking at the map. He's like, I'm at the right address, but where the fuck is the...
I didn't know for sure this show came out in 2007, but I could have absolutely told by the one dude's hair, because he has like the perfect example of like mid 2000s CW like feathered like fucking Brady Bunch hair.
Yeah.
It's the hockey head. Yeah.
It locks this show in at such a specific time.
It wasn't all the flip phones?
Flip
That too.
phones, yeah. Yeah, I don't think we've gotten there yet in the show, but there's a moment with like a first or second gen iPod, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. It's very of its time, for sure. So this episode was written by Ben Edlund and directed by Robert Singer, and viewed by an estimated 3.03 million viewers.
That's not bad.
No, I mean, yeah, the 3 millions are sort of where this show will always sort of do its best and like sort of middle out at. That's where you want to be. So let's talk about some international titles for this episode.
Right.
So the title comes from the film Bad Day at Black Rock from 1955. It's about a mysterious stranger who arrives in a small town in search of someone and ends up changing the life of everyone in the town forever.
Right.
So Bad Day at Black Rock, I mean, that's very specifically a movie, but how do you think it's going to translate to other countries?
Oh, I feel like it's not at all. I feel like a bunch of other countries are going to just like go straight for what it is.
We got a bit of
the
that.
Japanese title is like Super America Rabbit Party 2000.
Sometimes we get that. Sometimes it does go in that route. The only one who really got it pretty close was Brazil.
Okay.
So Brazil had it. It was Bad Day in Black Rock.
Okay.
So pretty, yeah, we're
Sure.
pretty good there. But then we take a huge left turn everywhere else.
Okay.
So French.
The French one, I'm going to say like it's like there's a 3-legged rabbit somewhere out there.
Animal cruelty from American Pig Dogs.
It's actually just called Luck.
What? That's so vague.
To be fair, that actually seems like a more accurate title than Bad Day at Black Rock.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that's just called luck.
Just Luck.
All right.
But Hungary wanted to put some spice into it.
Okay.
So he had a little spice to that.
Right.
Bad Day at Black Cock.
I mean, it had to get said at some point. I'm glad it came
Hey,
out
let's
now.
get it out of the way. Let's rip that Band-Aid off
Yeah.
that cock.
Like get lucky or something like that.
No, that's too spicy.
Oh, sorry.
This is magical bad luck.
Magical bad luck,
That's way worse.
as opposed to the scientific kind.
Yeah.
Yes. But my absolute favorite and the last one, the German title.
Oh God. We really could have used one of these in 1944.
Oh, shit. Just somebody with the rabbit chain, just like, yeah, I thought to check the attic. I don't know.
Do you know it's June 8th? Has anybody checked the beaches in France?
I feel like there might be a storm coming. I don't know. The German title is Misfortune Seldom Comes Alone.
Oh. I mean, God, if the name of my sex
It's
tape.
Ava Braun's autobiography as well.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Misfortune seldom comes alone. I mean, listen, if I would click that if I saw that title on Pornhub.
Yeah.
That's the name of the oh God, that's a good porn star name, Misfortune.
I mean, someone must be misfortune. Yeah.
I can't hear you over the sound of me Googling it.
Yeah. Podcast Chris.
Misfortune porn. Why is this when my internet is slow? It's working totally normal for you assholes, but it won't show me porn. All right. It seems like it's a cartoon pirate lady.
Oh, no.
Anyway, sorry.
Oh, there you
I know,
go.
that's all cartoons.
There's a lot of
Look at this.
unfortunate
Podcasting. I apologize.
So some featured music from this episode. We have the song Women's Wear by Daniel May.
Okay.
And we have Vaya con Dios by Mary Ford and Les Paul.
All right.
Not bad. A pretty
Cool.
decent soundtrack. I mean, they definitely are running out of classic rock songs.
Yeah, they're going deeper into discographies by this point.
Like first season, you're like Back in Black. You're
Yeah.
getting like Hell's Bells, and now they're like, I don't know.
Well, AC/DC is going to be out of songs by like 4 episodes in. They're like,
Yeah, basically. 100%. That's what it is. So TV Guide describes this episode as Sam and Dean come into possession of a rabbit's foot that belonged to their dad, but it's not necessarily good luck because if it's lost, death follows within a week.
Yeah.
That's a very broad. I think it happens a lot quicker than that, but
Yeah, I mean, it's a moment in the show where Bobby's like, they'll be dead within a week, but we just saw a scene of a guy dying within like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like,
way within the fucking week.
yeah. It's like, where did you get a fucking week, Bobby? Like,
within 100 years, they're going to die. But before we actually talk about today's episode, let's open up Dad's journal and learn about some of the real-world lore on today's monster.
yeah, let's see what the lore says about rabbit's feet.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
I went to Wiki Rabbit's Feet and
I've said this on multiple podcasts now. I'm so angry that I do not have a WikiFeet page.
How do you not?
I don't know. I think somebody might have made one after I complained about it last time, but I was very furious about it.
That's a great way to get social media content by complaining.
yeah.
It always works.
I mean, a lot of how we've gotten stuff is
Look, his
by
feet are
complaining.
the Zack Snyder cut.
Release the feet.
Good Lord. Yeah, so rabbit's feet. They're considered good luck charms or amulets in a whole bunch of cultures. It doesn't just apply to any rabbit. So before you go out and start cutting the feet off rabbits, don't do that.
So if you're on Wiki Rabbit Feet, Thumper it really comes for it.
Oh, but I really come for that.
Yeah.
Depending on the legend, the rabbit may need to possess certain attributes, or you have to like kill it in a specific place at a specific time
Oh my
with
God,
a
who has the
specific
time?
tool, or by like it has to be like a shaman or someone spiritual or something like that that does it, and that's part of what imbues the luck. Like,
Did you ever buy like a rabbit's foot?
No.
Did you? I had them. They were like at festivals and stuff.
I got them they had like a 50 cent, like you can get them out of a machine at the laundromat when I was a kid. And I used to think they were super cool. So
Yeah.
I mean, clearly we're not afraid of the rabbit uprising. No.
It's just a foot. They can still hop with the rest of them.
I also don't think mine was real. It came out of a vending machine at a laundromat. Like,
Those were the orphan rabbits. They were just like, well, he's away from his mom. Just
Oh, God. There's a possible connection to a European good luck charm known as a hand of glory, which is
I've had that.
you take someone who's been hanged, you cut off his hand, and you pickle it, and that's good luck. Not for him,
Then
obviously.
you jerk up with it?
No, I didn't.
What?
That seems like a worse thing to have as a keychain, though. Like it's just cumbersome.
You put a ring on the end of each finger. It's like, those are my work keys. That's house. That's,
You got a corkscrew on one. You know, it's like
in Chinese culture, the rabbit is considered the luckiest of like the 12 kind of like zodiac, like the year symbols. In Celtic traditions, there's a belief that rabbits spent so much time underground that they could communicate with gods and spirits down there. Because that's a thing in like Celtic
someone
traditions.
needs to tell them that gods are not down there.
In Celtic traditions, they are. That's the whole thing about like those like little hillocks and
Oh, really?
shit like that. Yeah, like that's part of it. So this is all part
you think
of.
God lives underground?
Sorry.
You think God lives underground?
Well, like spirits, like fairies, like all those kind of components of like Celtic religion. Yeah. God is just Saddam Hussein in the hole.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Nine Inch Nails album.
Saddam in the hole.
God, 9/11 jokes, Saddam Hussein jokes. We're even further back than this episode is. Yeah, so whole rabbits, not just the feet, were considered good luck in Celtic spirituality. In hoodoo, the rabbit's foot is very specific. It has to be like the back left foot. The left side is the sinister side, like that might be imbued with magic.
Yeah, if you have the right rabbit foot, you're gay. It's a whole code.
But if you put it in your left pocket, like hanging out, then it balances it out.
Well, then you have to.
A three-legged rabbit.
You got to watch out if you have like a blue rabbit's foot or a red rabbit's foot. So the rabbit must be captured in a cemetery by a full or a new moon. Sometimes it involves Friday the 13th, but all of this stuff was the other piece of this is that witches were considered to be very active during full moons and stuff like that. And a rabbit was considered like one of their like preferred like enema, like a witch would like transform into a rabbit. So the idea is like if you're in a cemetery on Friday the 13th and a full moon is out and you catch a rabbit, it's probably a witch. And if you take its foot, you're getting some of its like magic and spiritual power.
Actually, Professor McGonagall, I turned into a cat, so I don't know if that.
Oh Jesus, no!
Yeah, fucking check your facts.
This feels like somebody who just wanted to murder small animals because they were a creep. Being like,
Yeah.
oh no, it's because magic. Like
Yeah.
they're just making it up. Because it sounds like they just put, okay, it's Friday the 13th and a graveyard and it was a witch. Like they're just
You
pouring.
could do their
everything
left
up.
leg, but you also could sometimes do their whole body, but maybe just the right leg too.
So it depends how hungry I am.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the rabbit foot lore is implying that you've caught a witch, hence the magical properties. It's believed to impart good luck, good hoodoo, but losing a rabbit's foot is considered like an omen of extremely bad luck. So don't do that shit. But yeah, there
Oh,
you
good
go.
to know. Oh god, I lost so many like dyed green rabbit feet.
But they've
as a kid.
yeah, I mean they've become ubiquitous, like in a vending machine at a fair or shit like that. Like the rabbit's foot idea is everywhere now.
Yeah, I wonder maybe if they just aren't rabbit's feet when you get them at the fair. Like, you know how like when you get the turkey leg, it's like emu, really? Like
Yeah. I mean, rabbits were also considered like
just a hairy small child instead.
they were considered lucky because they were like fertility, like totems and shit like that too.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think that's usually part of the rabbit's foot thing. Like I don't think it makes you come real good or anything. But
Oh no. I don't know, not the way I've been using it.
Yeah. Getting it lost up in there.
Yeah, if you stick it up there, it's furry enough, it'll
oh no,
what?
How is that the line?
Yeah, that's your line.
Can we go back to talking about 9/11?
Yeah, this is making me uncomfortable.
I think when I found out about 9/11 6 years later, I shit out my rabbit's foot. That's how.
And he put it on the same day as September 11th, 2001. It was weird.
Hey, I wasn't on the plane. It was good luck for me.
Oh no. Oh my god. But if I was,
Yeah. I would have also died because I'm not.
Good Lord.
All right, let's get into the episode.
Oh,
Let's
right.
do it. If he was on the plane with the rabbit's foot, it would like comically miss the building and just crash on the Hudson.
It somehow slips on a banana peel in the sky.
Whoa!
Okay, so the first scene is outside of a prison. Barbed wire. Prisoners are in the guard. There's ominous music, and some dude is getting wanded before being let in.
Ooh.
He goes over to his visitor and doesn't waste any time on anything curious. No, hello, how's the prison food? He picks up the phone and tells the other guy that it's true. The Devil's Gate was opened in Wyoming. So how confused were you at this point, Keith?
I watched this. I paid attention for half a second, and I was like, "This is definitely some shit I don't need to know about before the show had."
Jordan, were you providing any context clues?
Sorry, one more time.
Jordan, were you providing any context clues, or were you just letting him?
I was absolutely not allowed to.
I didn't want
Oh,
Yeah.
I love
So I was
that.
like, okay, so how much do you want to know? Like, do
Yeah.
you want to know where it goes? And then why this is funny and then this happened? And he was just like, no, just don't say it.
I had my phone out like to take notes, and the first thing I wrote down was "Devil's Gate sounds like a butthole," and then I was like, "I probably don't need to take notes."
Not after that.
Yeah,
You started so strong.
Yeah, that, and then drop and close the laptop, walk away.
Oh, that's amazing.
Devil's Gate.
Isn't that like the fake trailer before Tropic Thunder? Like the gay priest movie fake trailer? Isn't it called like Satan's Alley or
Oh,
Devil's Gate
yeah.
or something like that? Yeah.
Oh my god. Not that you care or need to know, but the previous end of the previous season, they accidentally opened up the gate to hell.
Yeah. They managed to close it, but a bunch of demons escaped.
Yes, exactly. So that's the impetus for most of this episode.
Yeah.
So we get to see the other guy on the get to see the guy on the other end, and it's a guy that's been chasing them for the whole last season. It's this guy Gordon, who's a hunter who does
another
not like
hunter who's like after them, wants to kill Sam because Sam is
Different.
implicated with this demon plot and everything.
Yeah.
So here's a question I actually have about the universe of the show. What is
Yes.
the Hunters? Like, is that like one group of people who all are just like, we're gonna go fuck up the devil, or like?
I mean, the show goes deeper with it the later the seasons you get into, but where we are in season 3, the hunters are like a very loose, not organization. It's like random people somehow find out that supernatural stuff is real and they dedicate their lives to hunting it. And then every once in a while they meet someone and they're like, oh, you hunt them too. And they trade tools a little bit and then they go, but there's no like, they're not getting like missives from like an organization or anything. They're not organized. They're like a bunch
I saw
of
we had, like, the car with the 2 hot guys, and then we had like the RV with the weird deliverance motherfuckers. And I just didn't know if they had the same boss or if they
yeah. They're all independent contractors.
Yes.
they're all freelancers. Good
Yes,
enough.
Yeah.
exactly. Gordon's, of course, looking no different than he did before. Gordon's visitor shows him the aerial of the Devil's Trap, so we're seeing like what happened.
Yeah.
And says that hundreds got out, but they don't know how many. So they're referring to demons at this point.
Yeah.
Demons and spirits and things like that. Gordon, of course, instantly knows Sam Winchester was there and says, "Yeah, it's got a Winchester stink to it." So this guy hates these dudes. Immediately was like,
Yeah.
"I'm gonna."
And he
I know they're
basically
implicated.
sets his friend
Yes.
after them. And the friend's like, I don't know. Sam kind of checks out. He seems like he's fine. And Gordon's like, he's not. Kill him. And the guy's like, all right.
Yeah.
That was easy.
Yeah. He finds out this guy's name is Kubrick. And he scoffs at Gordon Brashley, reminds him that he told him this was coming 6 months ago. He insists that Kubrick track down Sam, and Sam Winchester must die.
Yeah.
So now we flash to the hot guys in the car. It's the Impala, the boys.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. The boys are fighting in the Impala. Sam obviously told Dean about the demon he's been talking to. So a couple episodes ago, there was a lady who shows up and started helping them. We found out in the previous episode that lady is also a demon who's trying to help them out. Dean in Big Brother mode starts lecturing at Sam that he should have just like killed her and not, or at least like hit her with some holy water and not talked to her.
Yeah.
Sam replies in a nice hostile tone that they weren't chatting. They were like, he was just trying to get information from her.
Yeah, and it comes out that she has claimed that she can get Dean out of his demon deal, which happened at the end of last season. Dean trades his soul to bring Sam back to life.
Sam dies. This is the first time this happens. Sam dies, he gets killed, and Dean makes a deal with a demon to basically bring his soul back.
The first of what will be
potentially maybe
a bunch of resurrections.
Yes.
Got me sober.
Yes. Oh. Sweet summer children. Yes. So we find out Dean only has a year to live until his soul gets taken. That was the deal that he had made. So Dean can't believe that Sam even bought that. Sam responds that at the time it seemed far-fetched, but now it seems to make sense. Dean is hardly sheepish about his displeasure over this whole thing. He's blunt and basically says, she knows what your weakness is. It's me.
Yeah. And then he leans over and touches Sam's hair
and gives him a tiny little kiss.
Oh, you guys are getting into the fan fiction. Should I go get
Oh, yeah, sorry, I was reading the wrong page. Oh, shit.
There are some deep, dark Tumblr holes when it comes to Supernatural.
Then it turns out the Impala is also alive and has a boner.
I mean, you make that comment, but kind of.
Wait,
Sorry,
there's a
somebody
whole
fuck this car in the show.
Well, there's a whole episode from the car's perspective,
but not getting fucked.
Well, no, but I mean that's the implication that it's like it knows what's going on. So
I mean, there are dudes inside of it on the reg. So
yeah,
you tell me.
And also, Dean fucks in that car a lot.
Oh yeah.
So the car's really a third.
That car has seen some shit.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they continue arguing about this demon. Sam says this is an opportunity to learn more about their enemy. Dean senses that Sam is just getting angrier and asks if he's all right. Sam asks why he's even asking that, and the Dean reveals that the demon that a demon suggested that maybe Sam didn't fully come back completely right when they resurrected him.
Yeah, so they're both they're both kind of at each other for different related reasons.
Yeah, and the phone rings.
Because I genuinely forgot which one is Dean and which one is Sam.
The prettier one is Dean. The tall one with the long
2007 hair is Sam.
There you go. Thank you. That helps.
Yes. As Lucretia Lyon once said, my favorite line, you're either a Dean girl or you're a lesbian. Which is my favorite line ever. So suddenly the phone rings and it's their dad's phone, not the one of theirs. They check in the back and they find out that one of their dad's contacts alerts Sam and Dean of a break-in at a secret lockup their father kept. So they didn't realize that their dad even had this.
Yeah, in Buffalo or near Buffalo. So
that's right.
Nobody checks there.
Yeah. We then flash to an image of a parked RV off the side of the road. And there's the guy from the beginning, Kubrick, and his partner,
who seems way too happy-go-lucky to be a hunter.
I know.
Hunters should be fucking miserable, and this guy's like, I really like cheeseburgers. Let's go hunt. Like
if this were a Hanna-Barbera cartoon, that guy would be a cartoon dog.
Yeah,
he'd be like fucking Muttley, like just along for the ride.
He is way too happy.
Yeah. And they're talking about the validity of what Gordon has basically said. Kubrick is basically saying that, look, we're working off Gordon's instincts. He saved me enough times. We have to trust what he's saying. He's never steered me wrong before. We then flash to a storage facility. Sam and Dean enter the storage facility. So the storage unit that was robbed was rented under the name of Edgar Cayce. Edgar Cayce was actually a famous American psychic and was known as the Sleeping Prophet because he supposedly had the ability to put himself in a sleep-like trance before he gave a reading. I like the idea that he just took a nap and was like, I put myself in a trance.
Yeah. Hey, you guys hang out. I'm gonna take a nap, talk to these ghosts.
Yeah.
This guy just takes a nap, gets shaken awake, and he goes, "Go! You're gonna die in a week."
Yeah.
That'll be $300.
Yeah. Can I get a wake up call? I'm gonna go into sleep like trance for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they comb through this storage unit. And it's like that sort of weird, sad hunter upbringing nostalgia where Dean's like, oh, my first sawed off.
I made it myself.
It's like they find a trophy for soccer, and like they're just like, oh, we were almost normal once.
Yeah, they do make a really shitty comment where Dean goes, we were almost a boy. And I'm
I
like,
think he means to say we were almost like had a real childhood.
I don't know. It feels like
It did not read like that at all.
no, it did not.
I'm giving too much credit.
Yeah, no, that's a shitty 2007 comment.
Yeah.
Is
But then
the idea that they've been doing this since childhood?
So
Yeah.
the very first episode of the show, it goes back to when they were kids, and it shows that their mom was murdered by a demon. And so because of that, the dad became a hunter because he was trying to figure out what had happened to her.
and then they live on the road,
Like in
and
motels
learn how to
and-
hunt like with him their whole lives, basically.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I saw the soccer trophy and I'm like, it's weird that they were somehow playing youth soccer while also fighting Satan.
Yes. Yeah, that is always they go back a lot
Because
throughout
it's
the
a
series.
division championship, so they stayed in one spot long enough for him to play the season.
Yes. And they've shown a bit of that. Yeah, they typically are like the longest time they're ever in a place. If the dad's like doing something for a few months, he'll like send them to one of his buddies' places or something. Who
Yeah,
most likely probably wasn't a good situation for them.
It's bad. Yeah.
But yeah, so they see the devil's trap on the floor and blood. The blood is likely due to the booby trap that someone had set off.
Yeah, amazing little MacGyver like tripwire to like a shotgun
Yes.
on a shelf.
Well, you got to hope Storage Wars doesn't come through town. Yup.
God, that'd been awesome. Dean notices the tracks in the blood. It was a 2-man job.
Yeah, and then they go to the back and they find all these these boxes that have these runes and stuff on it. They're curse boxes. They're supposed to like contain powerful objects, things that shouldn't get out. Like, something has clearly been taken from there.
Yeah, there's like an empty spot where dust is around, so they realize that something is obviously that should be there isn't.
Yeah.
And Dean very optimistically says, "Well, maybe they didn't open it." Which is then we immediately flash to a scene at these guys' apartment, and they go, "Come on, man, let's open it."
I love these two guys. They've got such like a, I don't even know what you would call it. It's like if the guys from Home Alone like were lived in like a real world and they were sad. Like,
Right. Like, one of them looks like if you bought M&M at the 99-cent store. Like fucking Slim Jim Shady. He's
he's just got a fucking hand towel on his shotgun when he's sitting there and he's like, they're like, we should open the box. He's like, I'm bleeding to death.
Yeah.
He's just
He's like, "Yeah, but this might make us money." He's like, "Money doesn't matter if you're dead."
oh my God. I love these guys.
These two are very funny.
I love that the 2007 shitty meth apartment is so much nicer than where we live.
Oh, that apartment is $1,600 a month.
right.
Oh my God! Please, if you're not talking about there, you're talking about the Pacquiao Palace, right?
Yeah, we're talking about the old
Okay,
one.
okay.
Yeah, our apartment now is nice.
I was gonna say, I'm like, if that is that, then what was that other place?
I literally spent all weekend when we were out of town cleaning, and you're just like, "Oh, we live in a shithole."
Oh, I started a fight that's gonna go after the podcast.
This is
Flex with the guys with the fucking ghost podcast.
this is a slight tangent, but one time my wife was on a contract for like 8 months up here before we moved, and
Yeah.
I was living in Ontario. And before she came back, I was like, I'm going to clean the apartment. It's going to look great. It's going to look amazing. And I was like, clean, great. These are decorative. Just clean under them. Blah blah blah. Put them down. She came home. She looked around. She was like, your cleaning job's fine. But then she opened one of the things I thought was decorative that I had not touched in 8 months, and it was a container full of flour. It was just full of maggots.
Oh,
Oh, that rocks.
And I was like, I thought it was decorative. She was like, you didn't bake anything? I was like, who bakes? It's like,
You make a good point. Who bakes?
so there's a grocery store down the street.
yeah. COVID hasn't happened yet. Why would I bake? Why would I bake? Wait, that's what happens to flour if you leave it for only a month?
I'm not sure, how it happened. Well, 8 months. She was gone for 8 months.
Sorry. I mean, that's a lot of time, I guess. But geez, that's what happens to flour?
I don't
Oh
know.
no, I need to make a call.
Yeah.
So we're in the apartment with these two losers. One has a bleeding shoulder, and the other one basically doesn't give a crap about the box. He's whining about bleeding to death. If you actually look closely in the thieves' apartment, there is an upside down horseshoe above the door. Horseshoes are an international symbol of luck. If the horseshoe is right side up, it collects good luck. If the horseshoe is facing down, it lets all the good luck out and invites bad luck. Yeah. So the other guy's named Grossman, apt name.
Yep. Checks out.
Yep. Won't give up on the
Bob's stink part.
We have a person on our Discord. His name is Butt Fart Butt. So I feel
Of the Connecticut fart butts?
yeah. I feel like they would be really well suited together.
Oh God.
But he's not going to give up on that box. He theorizes that something valuable must be in it, and he doesn't want to hand it over to her. They took all the he means Hillary Clinton. You know her. So they
say the whole vibe of this like really is changed by like the idea of rednecks running around stealing magic and thinking that they're secret like government demons or whatever.
Yeah,
doesn't feel as fun now.
Oh God.
They took all
with whatever's in here, we could win the next election.
Oh no,
this rabbit foot's gonna serve Q.
Yeah, like hell, I'm gonna vote for Barack.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh yeah, 2007.
2007, baby.
Oh no, it's too real. They took but they had taken all the risk. Wayne even got shot, and for all of a lousy few $100.
Yeah, so they break it open, and it's just a little rabbit's foot on a keychain, and the guy picks it up, and he's like, "This is all it is. This stupid piece of shit." And at that moment, like there's a sort of whoosh of wind sound. But then there's a knock on the door. The guy comes in. And he's like, "Oh, you got shot? I used to be a medic. Nom, get some water going." He's like, "This is your lucky day, buddy."
Yeah, exactly. Immediately starts getting the help they need. Outside of their apartment, pulls up the Impala.
Yeah.
There's a Pinto outside. Dean confirms that it matches the license plate from the security camera that they parked in front of. Back inside of the apartment, the two thieves are playing cards, and Wayne can't lose. He's getting royal flushes.
I like the idea that this like luck is objectively good, but also like it's tempering itself. He's like, that's the second royal flush in 8 hands. It's like, I would expect a bit more from a rabbit's foot.
Yeah,
2 royal flushes in 8 hands, that's only 25%.
That's true. Theoretically, he still lost money.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he's winning every hand, but I was still like, I mean, it should be unassailable luck.
Yes.
Like,
so he makes the connection that the rabbit's foot is doing something. He says that stuck-up bitch is never getting it.
Yeah, and then Sam and Dean
lock her up.
Oh, God. With this rabbit's foot, we'll finally get her emails.
Yeah.
And then we're going to make Sam Winchester pay for doing Benghazi.
I love our anachronous bigotry that's going on here.
Look,
you got to stop him. He opened the Devil's Pizza Gate.
So Sam and Dean are now in the hall.
I love Sam and Dean breaking in because normally Sam and Dean break in. Even if a fight happens, these guys are fucking badass. They can fight. They can shoot. They're great. I fucking love how the luck plays out.
Yeah, that's right. So they eventually reach the living room and barge in. Dean asks for the box and says, "Please tell me you didn't." Oh, they did, finishes Sam. Dean slams Wayne against the wall. Wayne wants to know if they're cops. Dean repeats his question about what's in the box.
Yeah. But then, does he hit Dean's gun? Dean's gun falls. It misfires. It shoots the gun out of Sam's hand. It's like a Rube Goldberg kind of thing.
The gun hits the floor, goes off, hits the radiator, and ricochets to Sam's gun, knocking it out of his hand. The bullet hits the coffee table next to it. It takes out the lamp near Dean. Sam and Grossman see Sam's gun on the floor and go after it, but Grossman pushes Sam away and he smacks it into Dean. Dean goes flying onto the coffee table from the impact, crushing it solid. Sam gives him a sincere sorry, but a split second later is tackled by Grossman. The airborne rabbit's foot from Dean's impact then with the table falls onto the floor, and Grossman wastes no time taking advantage of his position on top of Sam to beat him soundly. I know. Wayne grabs Dean's gun to point it forward, accidentally taking out the unstable Dean, who's getting up from the floor in the process.
I love that. He raises the gun. It just hits Dean in the face. And it's so like Pratfall-y. I love the comedy of this scene. What did...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, what did you think of? As someone that does not watch this show
and does comedy as a career,
but I was gonna say, thus far, it's been like, who's the monster? Who broke in? Who stole this shit from Dad? And then this scene is like Three Stooges.
Well, yeah, because I was gonna say, like, so like going in, I was like, all right, well, it's called Supernatural, so I assume they're gonna be like fighting Dracula or like a monster.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, we're 10 minutes in and they're just pointing guns at poor people. And then getting fucking punked out tremendously.
Yeah.
Again, no context. It's very hard for me to take these men seriously.
That's
like
fair.
I feel like one of them accidentally killed their dad. I don't know the lore. But I seem like somebody whoopsie daisy the kitchen knife and then no more dad.
Yeah. Super powered people going after poor people. I thought I was on the DC podcast.
Yeah.
Listen, I can only do so many episodes where we tear down my heroes. But yeah, while Sam's getting choked out on the ground, he finally reaches, he grabs the rabbit's foot, and then immediately the whole dynamic of the fight changes. He kicks the guy off of him.
Like a superhero, like legit, like he fucking kicks him so far.
But Sam
gets this motherfucker into the center of the earth.
Yeah, but Sam is like, he's a tree. He's a big boy.
That's right. I want to make a treehouse.
Yeah.
But sure enough, one sound effect later, Sam can easily now push off his attacker.
Yes.
He kicks Grossman across the room and shouts to Dean that he's got it as he gets up. To Dean's revolver pointing square at him. Wayne is pissed. Sam gives him a nervous smile, but Wayne fires anyways. The gun jams. He tries again numerous times and then trips on a broken piece of coffee table, knocking himself out.
And then the guy in the corner like goes to get up and he pulls a bunch of bookshelves down on himself.
Yes. And basically the guys are just looking at each other and Dean goes, that was a lucky break. And Dean goes, is that a rabbit's foot? Yeah. Yeah, he's basically like, yeah, they're just like, I guess it's this.
Great.
And then we go to outside of a Biggerson's. This is the first instance of this restaurant called Biggerson's, which is a thing that is a mainstay throughout all of the other seasons.
Yeah.
It's a really popular fast food restaurant that they use multiple times that they made up.
It's not a real one, right?
No, it's a made up
for the show, yeah.
Yeah, he even goes like, I just only want to eat here from now on, I think later on. But
yeah, I think he even says we should only solve cases in towns with Biggerson's.
Yeah.
Because they go in, and because they've got the rabbit's foot,
yeah,
the guy's like, we just want a table. They're like, you're our millionth customer, and they
So
like
good.
give them the big fake check. And
Sam looks all awkward. Dean's super happy. Get a big smile on his face. They have a photo taken of them as they win this whole thing.
Very funny.
Sam's brooding this whole time, not feeling very lucky. But Dean's like, I got these scratch tickets. Like,
yeah.
And he gets all these scratch tickets, but Sam's the one who touched it, so he has to be the one to scratch all these things. Dean's like, Sam basically says, Dean, it's got to be cursed somehow, otherwise, like, Dad wouldn't have locked it up. But that point is completely lost on Dean as he's like, I got $1,200.
Dean is a man of simple pleasures. He likes his scratchums. He likes to fuck twins, and he likes to eat ice cream.
Yeah, that's a real thing. He did do that.
Isn't he Yogi fucking Bear?
What?
Yes.
His whole thing is like, I just want to die.
It's true.
Kill vampires.
And fuck twins like Yogi Bear.
Weirdly snacking on ice cream in this episode. He gives himself brain freeze.
Yes. So we go back to the apartment, and now unlucky Wayne and Grossman are there. Wayne gets up, tries to wake Grossman, and kicks an empty beer bottle away. He rolls into the kitchen.
And
Wayne,
you think he's going to trip on it, and he doesn't. He steps over.
Oh, I
it.
love that fake out.
He very poorly puts a bunch of dishes in the drying
You
rack.
never go prong up. You
He
never
takes
go knife
barbecue
up.
tongs and puts them.
Like, that's not even like, even if you're being a lazy idiot, that's not even the most convenient way to do that. You would just throw
It's
it flat.
so
Yeah, it
much
goes flat
more
at the
work to
top.
put them up that way. Yeah.
Right. It's an active choice. Like, I hope I don't die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I never like I have somebody staying with me right now and they were like, oh, like do you put the knives down or up? And I'm like, what? How is that even a question?
Yeah.
Do you want to risk death or no? Is that
I hang them over my bed when I sleep.
loosely? Yeah.
And then they're just on little hooks, and I put that fan on oscillating, and one of these is going to come down tonight.
Fingers crossed. It's sweet release. So Wayne washes his face, steps forward onto the beer bottle, falls backward, and receives a direct hit from the fork through the back of his head.
I love how the barbecue little fork thing goes through his mouth, so he looks like a snake.
Yes.
Like he has like this long forked thing going through his
snake.
mouth. And that's right when bookcase guy wakes up and he's like, Wayne? He's
You're
like,
right.
Oh, no.
No, that shit rocks so hard because it's so like over the top gross for how silly the show has been so far.
Yeah.
Like it would be like if like 10 minutes into an episode of SpongeBob, somebody just shot him in the kneecap. Point blank range. Like, it's such a real upsetting piece of violence.
Well, that was like
Squidward,
the,
why?
the episode we just covered, the episode before this one,
Yeah.
is a very silly episode, and Dean is like, oh shit, am I the father of this kid who acts exactly like him? Like they're playing it so much for laughs, and then about 3/4 of the way through the episode, a woman drowns her daughter in a car, like puts her in a car and lets it roll into a lake.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh Jesus.
The show loves to do that. You can understand how this guy ends up making The Boys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Loves the really brutal violence.
It's true.
Yeah. So basically Grossman wakes up and just sees his buddy gurgling to death. We then go to back to the Impala. Next, Dean is giggling like a schoolgirl over the winning lottery tickets, while Sam is apologizing on the phone to Bobby, claiming that they didn't know. Bobby's still giving them shit for touching the rabbit's foot, and then he also admits that he knew about the storage lockup. He actually built those.
But he also
boxes.
tells them like, don't lose it.
Yeah,
like you have good luck while you have it.
And Sam's like, I
just won't lose it. Then immediately puts it in a loose pocket.
Yeah, Bobby's like, everyone loses it.
It's not. You can't even like zip it up. Like he's just like, all right, nothing.
I get such a panic. I'm the worst. I lose everything I'm not supposed to. So as soon as I find out, oh, this thing is small and important, I'm like, I can't wait to never see it again. I'm like, you're fucked, even if you weren't on this show where we knew you were fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
Sam wants to know how to break the curse, but Bobby will have to get hit back to him on that one.
So then they finally do go in, and that's where we get you're our millionth customer. They go into this bigger sense.
Yeah, exactly. And then we go back to the RV, and Kubrick gets off the phone. He's gone through his book. The word is out, so they wait. Creedy naturally wants to eat. Kubrick is cool with that.
Kubrick's like, I've got canned everything. And the guy's like, no, I'm happy. Let's go to a restaurant.
I know a great place.
Yeah.
He's like, good service, good food, homey atmosphere, garlic knots.
I love the idea. It's like when you have like a superhero with no tragedy in their backstory. I love that this guy's just like, yeah, I found out the ghosts were real and I think it's neat.
Yeah. I love my guns.
He's having just a great time. He's like, I never lost anyone I cared about.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Clang.
I only go after the kid ones.
Oh no.
They're slow.
Yeah. So we're now inside the Biggerson. Sam is on his laptop and confirms that Bobby is right. The lore goes way back. Pure hoodoo. You can just cut. You can't just cut off one from any rabbit. It has to be a cemetery under a full moon on Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
For anybody who's curious, Friday the 13th, the series from 1987, was another Canadian-based horror series about recovering cursed antiques.
There you go.
Look at that. Jared was also went on to star in 2009 in the film remake of Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah, that's right. A couple little connections.
Yeah. Dean's bliss comes from the giant banana split he's devouring, which obviously gives him a giant headache. A hot waitress with dark hair then pours Sam's coffee.
Sorry, I got to stop you there. Yeah. The hottest waitress.
Lord, yes.
Yeah. I'm not made of stone.
Just impossibly hot.
Yes.
I will say we're not there yet, but there's a scene where Dean and this waitress.
Oh, I want them to fuck so bad.
Dean and this waitress pull guns on each other, and that's my sexuality. Oh, fuck yeah.
It's aggressive, caustic, and hostile.
Yeah. I'm scared, and I don't know that I am quite at the caliber that I should be here, but I'm glad that I'm seeing this.
Yeah.
You're pointing your dick at both of them while they're pointing a gun at you. Like, I don't know who's
As both Sam and Dean are distracted, they don't notice anything amiss. When she spills the coffee and cleans it up, of course, the legend being what it is, the luck turns fast. Sam then burns himself with the coffee, jumps up, takes out the waiter with the tray of food nearby. Dean all of a sudden...
I do love these like Stooges
Oh, it's so
gags.
good.
By the way, we should mention that the waitress is Lauren Cohen, who
Yes.
people now know from like Walking Dead and all sorts of other stuff. But
Yeah, absolutely. Like her and the father, their father who passed away, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, was in.
yeah.
They were in
Jeffrey-
Walking Dead
Yeah.
together.
Well, yeah, they were on Walking Dead together. They also were Thomas and Martha Wayne
Yes.
in Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Dean all of a sudden isn't so joyous anymore because he realizes that wasn't lucky. So Sam checks the secure pocket, and oh yeah, the foot is gone.
Oh no, my lucky pocket.
Yes.
Oh, no.
The waitress leaves the restaurant with the rabbit's foot in her towel, so she's not actually touching it.
Yeah, she's not actually grabbing it,
A smug smile and throws away the black wig, which I'm just like, can you take that with you just in case?
Yeah. Can we keep the wig maybe?
Yeah.
But you have, no reason. But
There's like a Vulcan thing I'd love for you to test out.
Yeah, tell me I'm illogical.
Yeah. So Sam and Dean run after her, and Sam takes a hilarious pratfall directly onto the asphalt to behind Dean.
He takes a very funny pratfall, but when they pan up, his knees are fully bloody.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it's both funny and gruesome.
Yeah, perfectly cut holes in his jeans.
Yeah.
Like, oh god, Dean's just like, wow, you suck.
I love that in a later scene. Well, sorry, we cut to the guys in the RV, and they're like, "Here's the menu for Biggersons," and because Sam no longer has the thing, their picture pops up, and the guy's like, "Great, let's go."
But very specifically, he like points towards God, and we realize that this whole thing is like a mission from God to this guy Kubrick.
Yeah, he believes he's now got like divine will on his side.
Yes. And then we go back to the idiots at the apartment. And
Yes.
Grossman, who's toasting Wayne's memory to a photo of them, a very poorly photoshopped photo of them in sombreros.
It's such an awkward scene. Like no one's gonna see this because this is just audio, but he's holding the photo at arm's length, like he can't see it. And he goes, "Pour one out for you, buddy." And he pours such a long pour.
right.
It's like, would your buddy want you to waste all that? And then
He only died once, man. Quit tipping.
he only died once.
While Via Con Dios is playing in the background, of course.
Yeah.
So Sam and Dean then walk in unannounced, and Grossman isn't very happy to see them. Dean tells them he knows what happened and how it's bad luck. Grossman basically just tells them to fuck off. Dean doesn't flinch, saying that he knows that a woman hired him to steal the foot. He knows that because she stole it from him.
Yeah, and the guy gives up a name, Lugosi.
Yes.
And then they call Bobby. I really like this. Dean is calling Bobby. He goes, "The name is Lugosi." And Bobby goes, "Ah, shit, it's Bella." Because obviously this show loves name references and shit like that. So her real name is...
A guy named Kubrick being the villain.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so her real name is Bella Talbot, but obviously Bella Lugosi is the joke there. The guy that played Dracula and was in Plan 9 from Outer Space, all these kind of classic movies and shit like that.
Yeah, but Bella's also named after not just Bella Lugosi. We find out later that she's actually Bella Talbot. She's also named after Lawrence Stewart Talbot, the character of Lon Chaney Jr., played in The Wolfman of 1941.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
But while they're on the phone with Bobby, and Bobby's like, "You lost the fucking thing," or
Yeah.
whatever, Sam manages to get his foot stuck in a sewer. And
because he was chewing gum. Well, no, they walked past gum. Gum was on the ground. Dean walked over it. Sam steps in the gum. The gum gets stuck to his shoe. He tries to scrape the gum off of his shoe. He does it into a sewer. He then loses the shoe into the sewer. And he's like, the whole time while he's on the phone, he's trying to like get it back.
and he just has such like a sad, like, "I lost my shoe."
Yeah.
This will only make sense to anybody listening to this who also listens to my show. But like watching this just is what it's like to be friends with Tom Goss.
I knew that was coming.
When I
been
turned
waiting.
her halfway through, and I'm like, they came up with a magical plot device to be, what if your friend was almost as dumb as my friend?
Yeah. The only thing that would have been left is if Sam looked at him and goes, "Do you guys like music?" Look,
Yeah.
we all like music.
And then somehow gets hit by an airplane that is driving. Like it's
Do you guys like pizza?
yeah.
Oh, that's
Look,
amazing.
now it's something we know about all of us. We all like pizza.
Yeah, there we go.
Fucking
Anyway, can I
Tom.
borrow exactly 38 cents so my car doesn't get towed? Not 39. If I have one more penny, then I owe the city $40. Everything is complicated.
God, that is the most Tom Goss thing I've ever fucking heard.
Has anybody seen The Dark Knight?
Oh my God, I fucking loved that moment. When,
He brags about ruining that podcast. Up there. I was like, how was it? He's like, oh man, John Gabris was so mad at me.
yeah. Just kept being like, so what do you think about Batman? He's like, I only know Christian Bale in The Dark Knight. It's just like, okay. Anything else?
Oh God, that's one of my all-time favorite moments.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Oh God, that's a great episode.
We watched all of those backwards.
Yeah.
Entire series.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we just watched everything
Yeah.
back.
He's born in a nuclear explosion and it ends with him walking down a mountain.
Oh my God, that's incredible. So we go to the we go outside we go to the Biggersons, and the Kubrick is standing outside of with the RV, and we get a full view of the Bible thumping bumper stickers that are basically in the back. There's like, how would Jesus drive? Don't make me come down there. Signed God. With Bethlehem or bus. Creedy tells Kubrick
9/11 was an inside job.
Yeah, religious stickers.
Where we go one, we hunt all.
Oh my God. So Kubrick.
Oh, God.
So Creedy tells Kubrick that no one knows where Sam and Dean went, and they didn't pay for their meal, so there's no credit card receipt. Kubrick isn't worried though, because they'll turn up because they have a higher power working for them.
Yeah.
They do, but it's not what he thinks.
Yeah, it's true. But everything, the bad luck that happens that keeps leading them down this path, he keeps saying that it's a sign from God. And yeah, in a way, he's right that he is being led. But yeah.
Yeah, and then we have that whole scene with the gum and the Bela Lugosi and
Very
all that
funny.
stuff. Bobby, for the very first time, calls the boys idiots.
Is that the
That's
first
the very
time he
first
says
time.
Oh, I didn't realize that was the
Yeah.
first time.
Yeah, I think that means nothing to Keith.
I've never seen it. That had the vibe of a catchphrase.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love just the moment of Jordan's like, oh, idiot. And Keith is like, all right, a show inside something.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that, because he wouldn't let me explain anything about the show, but you got this Jesus freak hunter in a world at this point in the show where they don't think God is real.
I was
Yeah.
going to ask, is God real?
There
in
are
this
no
universe?
angels.
We can't say anything, but
At this point in the show, we only encounter devils and hell.
yeah.
The one time
You can assume
the
that there
one
might
time
be.
this far that they thought it might have been an angel, it was just the ghost of a priest killing people.
Yes.
I mean, first of all, tight. Second of all,
You can see
Well, I
this
think
is a good show.
it seems like they're kind of playing the RV guys as a joke. Like, these idiots think it's God, but it's actually a rabbit's foot. What a bunch of fucking morons. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially because the one guy is like, well, gee.
Yeah. So yeah, we get our I lost my shoe moment.
Yeah, I love that.
Classic.
I do actually, I don't often give him credit because the guy who plays Sam, Jared Padalecki, is just frankly not as good of an actor as Jensen Ackles, the guy that plays Dean. But I will say, I like seeing Sam this far out of his element. Like, Sam is usually the one, he's read all the books, he knows what to do. Dean is going in half cocked, and Sam is like, we need a plan. Like, I like seeing him so fully not in control, and I think he actually plays it pretty well.
And it forces Dean to sort of like be the one in charge.
Yeah.
which is really fun. So the Impala then pulls up in front of a motel. Dean gets off the phone with Bobby and thanking him again. He has a plan. Bella is in Queens, which is 2 hours away. He says Sam must stay at the motel because he doesn't want his bad luck getting them killed.
Yeah.
So Dean...
Yeah, he like sits him in the middle of the room. He's like, don't move. Don't touch anything. Don't turn on a lamp. Don't
Don't even scratch your nose, which then he immediately is like wiggling his nose and then scratches it. Very funny. I do like that. It's a good
Would have been amazing if he just tore his face off. Like, ah!
I genuinely thought he was going to pick his nose and give himself a nose.
I'm surprised it didn't, to be honest. We do find out that Kubrick and Greedy are like in the next like parking lot over, basically, with their RV.
Yeah.
They're getting very, very close. Dean leaves the pouting Sam quickly behind, who's making weird facial expressions to scratch his nose. We are shown the room in a wide shot, the loud floral wallpaper, the room divider made of circles, and the giant red circle behind Sam. This is a hilarious room. This season's got some of the best motel rooms.
Yeah, it's a really, like, that's a room I couldn't sleep in.
No. So then we go to Queens. We're now in Queens. Bella is on the phone complaining about some deal and sees Dean in the security camera. She handles the rabbit foot with tongs and goes for her gun. The front door alarm is suddenly going off, and she sees that there's a sticky note placed that says "Turn around." She does, and there's
coincidentally, this is also when all of my notes got sticky too.
Well done.
She turns around and Dean's pointing a gun at her.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Dean says, "You left without your tip." And he's like, "I'll give you just the tip."
Oh, like a dick. Okay.
Yeah. I do comedy too, you guys.
Yeah. The problem is you can't piggyback up the perfect cum joke. Like that.
No, I mean, that's true. Yeah. There's nothing.
Oh my God. I'm going to put that on my resume. Once made the perfect cum joke.
Said by Keith Carey, so you know it's true.
Yeah.
That's all this guy talks about.
Yeah, the Michelangelo of jizz.
God, you should see what he did with the Sistine Chapel.
Painted it from the floor. That's how much pressure I had.
Yeah, just one color though, not really.
I was actually just covering up the one before.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So they both just got their guns cocked on each other.
Oh yeah. I mean, honestly though, is there anything better than sexy people threatening to kill each other?
No.
Is that like a weird thing to say out loud?
No, it makes sense. If you were just horny because the guy was pointing a gun at a lady, I'd have questions. But she's also got a gun, so I'm like, yeah, anybody can.
And seems like she can defend herself. That's
it's the consensual gun pointing thing.
She'll be fine. She's the only millionaire in Queens for some reason.
Yes,
but she's gonna be fine.
I like when they're both threatening as the same level.
Yes,
that's equal opportunity.
Hey, feminism.
Yeah. So we then go back to the motel.
Yeah, feminism's when I could draw my gun on a woman.
And she could draw hers back.
Jesus Christ.
So we go back to the motel. We see Sam looking bored. Suddenly the camera shifts to the air conditioner, which is now making goofy noises.
I love that smoke starts coming out and then it catches fire.
And smoke starts coming out. And you just see Sam go, "Oh, come on."
He's such like a droopy dog kind of character.
Yeah, the smoke starts coming out of it. Sam gets up, his apprehensions hinting that maybe he knows full well what's about to happen. He's defying his instructions to sit there and do nothing by tempting fate. He moves cautiously closer and to check it out, but is still kind of afraid to get too close, and the AC shuts out and bursts into flames.
I love that he like takes what I can only assume are highly flammable sheets.
Yes.
Yeah. Tries to use those to
right.
Yeah, and you think it works. He's like, "Oh, thank God." That's where the camera works its magic again, fully focused on Sam's top half, and we don't see what's going on below until the sudden glow of the light tells us that Sam raises his arm to find out his jacket sleeves on fire.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh no!" and he goes over to the curtains, tries to put it out with the curtains. The rod comes down, knocks him out. And outside the window are the fucking other hunters. They're like, "Oh, there he is."
I'm gonna go back to that other scene where the rod comes down.
Oh, the rod's going up in the other.
So, yeah, the Creedy and Gooprick are out there. Of course, Sam doesn't see them. He's on the floor, knocked out. It all ends with Kubrick smiling and looking upwards at his higher power. So we go back
This
to
Kubrick guy has a sort of like, he's got like a TV day player version of like a Nick Nolte or Willem Dafoe energy.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. This show must have been so great for like background actors who were too ugly for Law and Order. Like this is where you drop them. Like,
I mean, you're not wrong, but
I mean, this show, I would say, more than most other shows, and certainly more than most shows that last as long as this one, has just an insane roster of day players from both big names or people that would be big names to just like the people where you're like, oh, that guy's in an episode of literally every show that's ever been made, and he's great at this.
yes. Yeah. So we leave Kubrick and go to Goobrick. Come on, I'm trying to win one.
I liked it.
Thank you. So Bella and Dean continue their showdown with their pointed guns. Bella talks about how hunting isn't a noble profession, and she secures unique items for high-paying clientele.
Yeah.
We then go back to the motel, back to Sam, who's just come to in time to see that he's been duct taped to a chair.
Again, it's the guy's like, oh, you're awake.
Yeah. And marvels how Sam managed to take himself out. Sam is looking mighty dazed and confused and asks who they are before Kubrick takes his turn to speak.
Yeah, and Kubrick talks about Gordon and how like Gordon wants to kill Sam, and Sam's like, that kind of sounds like Gordon. Yeah, that tracks. Yeah,
but he's like, I'm not ready to do that yet because I'm on a mission from God.
Yeah,
I'm on a mission from God.
Is that Peter Griffin?
It was supposed to be Blues Brothers, but no.
Oh.
It was
Sure. Now I know I can get to Peter Griffin. So we're back to Bella's apartment again. Bella and Dean are still pointing at each other. Dean tries to tell her about Sam's
God, they could just
misfortune.
point each other for this whole episode.
Oh, I know. No problem.
Incredible stamina.
Yeah. Dean can have the foot for $1.5 million.
Yeah, she's being shitty about it.
That's also her. That's also the cost for her foot on OnlyFans.
Oh God.
Dean is wondering how she found out about. No, you don't look.
I'm just gonna wire some money.
We're all just Googling pornography quietly while we're recording the podcast.
Yeah, it's called podcasting.
If we all sound distant and uninterested, it's because we're all looking at porn.
Yes.
Oh yeah, totally Supernatural or whatever. Oh,
Yeah.
geez.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Walking Dead, foot porn.
So she has some sort of mystical talking board apparently and knows about the rabbit's foot.
What do you mean? Apparently, it's a Ouija board. It couldn't be clearer what it is.
Well, the thing that I got the rundown on this was
some sort of mystical talking board. Like a Ouija board hasn't been like a fucking board game
That's a brand
for 40
name.
years.
It's a brand name.
The Ouija board is just telling her where to go rob. Like,
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, well, she says, yeah, exactly. She says, I spoke to the ghosts of the people that died after they lost the rabbit's foot.
that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's weird that they're taking a call from her, and then it's like, all right, the ghosts are telling you where it is. You're telling these other guys to go steal it. What do you do here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rolling all this.
She then says, we're all going to hell, Dean. Might as well sit back and enjoy the ride. And this is the one moment where Dean's like, I mean, yeah.
And then they should just put the guns down.
Do it. Make the Ouija board watch.
The people at the
Let's get all
CW,
them involved.
and somehow no one at the CW will return my calls.
Yeah. It is weird that it's
Apparently, it doesn't stand for coming wildly. Who'd have thought?
which is weird because their digital network is called The Seed.
Yeah, CW Seed.
Is it really?
It is,
Yes.
yeah.
And no one stopped them from doing that?
No, apparently. I mean, they were like, no one's going to use this anyways, I guess. But
Yeah.
So Dean decides it's time to leave and shows off that he already has the rabbit foot.
Yeah.
Bella fires her gun, but the bullets are just flying all over the place.
And they
not
keep
coming
ricocheting
anywhere
like
near him.
back at her.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, Dean laughs at her like a child, taunting her with the rabbit's foot as he leaves unharmed.
Yeah.
We go back to the motel, and poor unlucky Sam, who must have been beaten unconscious because, again, he's waking up with a splash water in his face. And he's all
like
bruised.
the guy hit him once and he passed out again.
Yeah.
And then there's almost a moment where I thought they were going to do it again.
Yes.
Like where he slaps him, and I was like, please pass out again. This guy would just be like, this is taking for fucking ever.
Yeah.
He's been knocked out like 4 times in one 40-minute episode. Like he has permanent brain damage.
Yeah, what is this, Lost?
He has CTE from this episode.
Yes.
It's the worst luck of all.
So Kubrick has made up his mind, even though Sam claims that they did everything to stop the Devil's Gate from being opened, and he doesn't know the demon's next move. Sam doesn't answer the next question, so he gets another whack across the face, doesn't pass out.
Oh, God, that would have been so funny.
Kubrick goes on about Gordon telling him about Sam, about that Sam is a freak. He's psychic. Sam denies that that's happening anymore and gets another whack. Kubrick realizes that the demons that a demon war is afoot and they're facing an end game. So you can understand why we can't take chances anymore.
But again, this episode had taken big swings at like God fearing people. Because like he's just like, I'm on a mission from God, and Sam's like, it's not happening anymore. He goes, lies. And it's like, what could possibly convince this guy otherwise? Right. And the answer is nothing. Yeah. He has decided on his own that God wants him to put a bullet in this guy's head.
Yes.
People who live in RVs with a lot of Jesus bumper stickers aren't great at like intaking new information. Pretty one-lane road.
Yeah, you know, you're right. He pulls out his gun and points it right between Sam's eyes. Sam is pleading, and Creedy steps in. He's like, hey, this isn't fun. We're having a good time.
I thought we were going to go steal picnic basket.
We didn't talk about it, but there's a really weird moment when they're in the RV and they're looking at the menu. Well, no, they're looking at the menu, and the guy's like, doesn't it look great? And even Kubrick is like, yeah, I love when they put the whole onion in the deep fryer. It's like this weird like human moment is like, I fucking love a bloomin' onion.
God made it. The delicious appetizer sent from God.
Like, oh yeah, by the way, we're on a murder mission, but fuck if I don't love a bloomin' onion.
Yeah. We've all been there.
I get it. You get the right dip.
It's true.
In there. Yeah.
There was an Outback Steakhouse in my hometown. That I would get 2 of those things. I'm not joking.
Murder somebody at an Outback Steakhouse, but there's no rules, just right. It's like international waters.
Oh God damn it, that's good.
One of the dumbest fucking things I've ever said in my life.
Who remembers their phrase?
Me, apparently.
Jesus, that's incredible. Sam wants to explain, but Kubrick's not going to listen. Sam closes his eyes and waits for Kubrick to fire. They turn around and Dean is pointing the gun at them. Kubrick thinks that he has an advantage since the gun is already at Sam's head. Dean jovially complies, but you see...
Yeah, he tells Dean to put his gun down. Dean's like, oh, this little thing? Because Dean knows he's got the rabbit's foot. He's like, fine.
Oh, this is so good.
It's such a good moment where he's like...
there's something you don't know about me. He's like, Kubrick must know what that is. As he takes the gun off of Sam, now pointing it towards Dean. Dean smiles and says, it's my lucky day.
And he just throws a pen fully into the gun.
So good. Creedy throws a punch and Dean swerves, so Creedy slams into the wall and takes himself out.
I do love that too. He's like, oh, here's my big moment. Punch. Whoa.
But the TV knows enough to like not let that guy have a gruesome death. They're like, he doesn't do anything wrong. He's simple.
He just likes onions.
Yeah.
I love Dean is very presumptuous about how this good luck thing works, because like there's no guarantee everything's going to work out. That guy only got 2 royal flushes, you know, like he could have just been like, oh, it's my lucky day. Look down, be like, hey, a quarter. And then his brother gets shot in the fucking face.
Yeah.
It's like, technically it's good luck for you.
Yeah. Kubrick can't get the pen out of his gun, so Dean picks it up a remote nearby, throws it directly and hits him right between the eyes. In another great camera angle, Kubrick falls. Sam, still tied to the chair, comes into view, flabbergasted of what happens. With his arm extended, one very happy Dean gives the slick declaration, "I'm Batman."
Yeah.
Sam is not amused and says, "Yeah, you're Batman."
I like that Kubrick gives like a Looney Tunes face too. Again, like he's got two kind of human moments, because otherwise he's like a sort of almost like T-1000 kind of focus in this episode. But his one moment is like, oh yeah, I love when they put the onion in the deep fryer. And then the other moment is he gets hit in the head with the remote and he goes like, like he might as well put up like a yikes sign and then like fucking fell over.
Fun fact about Jensen Ackles, who plays Dean. He actually he was almost Batman. He was the Red Hood from Batman and the Red Hood,
and now he does voice Batman.
Yes,
in the Long Halloween.
But another random fact is in the Spanish dub for this episode, both Batman and Dean Winchester are voiced by a guy named Claudio Serrano, who does this guy does for all of the Dark Knight, for all of the Nolan movies. He's the one who does the voice for Batman.
So in Spanish, he
gets to say, "I'm Batman," and he has been.
¿Dónde están los drogos?
Yeah.
Mi amo es Batman.
Yeah. So that guy is Batman. So fun.
Wow.
So we then go to a cemetery. Sam and Dean are in a graveyard.
You're no wearing hockey pads or whatever the fuck you say in Spanish.
I'm sorry, you don't know hockey pads in Espanol?
I don't. Sorry.
Oh, jeez.
Someone call Tom.
Of course, that would be the Spanish he knows.
El Joker. A ghost face. I should speak more Spanish than this. I've lived in Southern California my whole life. I'm embarrassed by how much I can't do this riff.
Yeah, but it's tough when it's not menu related, right?
Yeah.
Damn, well done.
Sam and Dean are in the graveyard, and embers are burning from some fire. Sam is ready to do this, but Dean is still scratching lottery tickets. He's like, "Hey, back off, Jigs. I'm bringing home the bacon." Dean puts the tickets in his jacket and grabs the foot and says, "Say goodbye, you wascally rabbit." Yeah. He's obviously quoting Elmer Fudd from the classic cartoon Looney Tunes from 1930 to 1969.
Yikes.
Yeah. Suddenly, Bella is there, and she's pointing a gun at them. Oh, yeah.
Yes, and now there's both of them there.
There's a third.
Twins.
Wouldn't be the first time this season, so.
Yeah.
So suddenly, Bella's there. She demands that Dean put the foot down.
She makes a new hole in one of them.
Jesus.
Oh, fuck.
That's my way of saying she shoots Sam.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot a brother pussy into you.
We did an episode with one of the Canada's Canada's Drag Race stars, and I thought that was the filthiest episode we've ever done. This might top that.
This is up there.
Yeah.
Or bottom for it, honestly. Who knows?
Yeah.
Episode 2 be going both ways.
Yeah. You've listened to this podcast, clearly. So she demands that Dean puts the foot down. I've asked him to do that too. Dean.
Yeah, on my neck.
Yeah, exactly. Crush my larynx. Dean refuses, probably knowing his luck is still good.
Yeah.
He gives a "you're not gonna shoot anybody" speech. I can read people. And she immediately shoots Sam.
Just shoots Sam. She's like, "I can't hit you, but I can't miss him."
Yes.
Which is
a very good line.
A fair point,
Yeah.
and a good line, yes.
Dean now furious. Sam is in agony on the ground, clutching his bleeding shoulder. She boasts to Dean that she can't hit him, but she can't miss with Sam. Dean calls her out for shooting people, and in her smugness, she claims it was only a shoulder hit. He's fine. Dean agrees to put down the rabbit's foot. He goes down and pulls a think fast and tosses the foot to Bella, and she catches it in her actual
which
hand.
means now she knows she's destined to lose it or whatever at some point.
There's nothing she can
so
do.
now she has to agree to destroy it with them.
So she throws it into the fire.
It's a
And
good
she's
move.
like, yeah, now I've lost 1.5 million for an insane person. So thanks for that. And Dean's like, yeah, I'm okay with that. That's suddenly all right. He realizes that the $46,000 worth of scratch tickets suddenly aren't in on him anymore. And we cut to seeing Bella, and she's got it in her hand.
Yeah.
And she's driving off. So she's at least got a bit of that money. We see a banged up Kubrick back at prison to report his adventure.
I love this scene because he's like, oh, I found him and God has me on their trail.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And even Gordon is like, all right. Like,
Sure,
I
man.
just want to kill him. Like,
Sam
even
like-
Gordon's like, Jesus. this
Sam
fucking
Winchester
God
must die,
guy."
though, right? Like, we're all on the same page with that. And he's like, yeah. He's like, all right, sure, God, all right. So just a few notes before we wrap this part up is Jensen Ackles has called this basically Jared's funniest episode, which I
agree.
He's like, which I like because Sam doesn't really get to be funny very often.
It's true.
Totally true. Eric Kripke, the creator for the show and the head writer, admitted his big mistake with Bella, who is always written as getting the upper hand and screwing over Sam and Dean badly. He acknowledged that he should have gotten the hint in the first episode, when she shot Sam without hesitation. That made her unlikable and irredeemable, not a badass like he thought. Had we figured out this in time, we probably could have made Bella work a bit better.
See, I know a lot of people don't like Bella, and like she's definitely unlikable, but I think I like her as a character. Like, I think she works.
The concept from her works, and she's very attractive, but they do play her pretty unlikable.
Yeah.
I didn't even think that read unlikable. It was like, yeah, she shot him in the fucking arm. They're being annoying. Like, I was kind of on her side with all.
Yeah, but I wanted to just be hot, not such a bitch.
Jesus Christ.
I will say, as soon as her face showed up in the diner, Keith turned to me and said, "Oh, she's the problem," because this is the first time they've showed up in this entire episode.
Yeah. You're trying to blow out in a cool ass fucking Leonard Skinner mobile and beat up Dracula. And now this bitch is gonna come steal our shit.
Yeah. So, reviews.
We drive around the country drawing our guns at women.
Yeah,
We're the heroes.
yeah, this one pointed back. What the fuck?
Oh, Lordy.
So,
That's the episode.
that is the episode.
Do you
Bad
wanna-
Day at Black
Do you
Rock.
want to each give kind of like your final thoughts, your summation, and maybe a score out of 5 whatevers?
Yes.
Doesn't have to be stars. 5
Uh,
anythings.
Yeah, so Jordan, you're the woman who showed up, so we'll start with you.
Yeah. All right. Get this fucking broad here.
Problem. I always loved this episode. As
Yeah.
soon as you told me what episode you guys said, I knew which one it was. It was so excited to show him. Because my friend and I used to watch this all the time and have like our different lists of, okay, these are the funny episodes, these are the episodes to watch when this happens, this, that, and the other. So I really love this episode. I forgot how slow it is if you haven't watched like 14 episodes ahead of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it really takes a while to get there. So I will give it in the show like a 4 rabbit's foots out.
Ooh, nice.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Takes a while to get there until you see Bella.
I think I thought it was fun. It's a very silly show. It was a little different than I expected, but it's a bunch of likable people doing likable shit. I will give it 2 hands masturbating furiously while people point guns at each other.
So you give him a read?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You better believe I was two-handed it.
Yeah.
It's more of like one after another. I mean, I'm not 2 hands. I mean,
I mean, you can't. Look, you don't have to use the whole hand. You just kind of team up.
just like extra insulation.
It's just so you know they're both there. You're adding.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that works. Yeah.
Emotional support.
I'm here for me.
Where there was only one set of rug burn moments, like Nick with your Jesus or something.
But son, I was jerking you off the whole time. That was only. Why was there only one set of handprints on my dick? Jesus Christ.
I mean, the nice thing about Jesus is that he could actually just put his hand down on it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. The world's first fleshlight.
I just wish it didn't come out wine.
Good Lord. Richard, what are your final thoughts and your score?
Oh yeah, this this is one of my favorite episodes for sure of the show. I mean, I constantly go back to this one. I think that there's some really iconic moments. It's very funny. I think that it gives both characters something a bit unique to do from what they normally do.
Yeah.
You get a nice brutal death in there, which is, I think, is important for the show, that balance.
Yeah.
That dichotomy between like silly and like serious and then death. Like, I think it's that perfect mixture of this season, especially. And you get like classic lines and Bobby's in there. I mean, yeah, it's all the pieces are there to make a good episode. And it's probably the best Bella is in this episode, I would say.
I think I like her a few episodes from now, actually.
Okay. All right. So I might just give this a straight up 5 sexual tensions.
Whoa.
Yeah. Damn.
I really like this episode for all of the reasons that have been said. There are a couple of moments that are like, what is happening here? Like, I don't love how obvious it is that when Sam takes the curtain rod down, that it's clearly a green screen and the two guys standing outside a fake window.
Oh, okay. I didn't notice that. Yeah.
I picked up on that. I picked up on like the bad Photoshop of the picture where
That
the
is
guy's
really
weirdly pouring one out for his friend. There's a couple of things like that. They don't ruin the episode. They don't break the episode, but it's moments where I'm like, And then also, I do like that Sam gets to be funny.
Yeah.
I kind of. Yeah, I don't know. I like how the luck plays out. I like the Rube Goldberg machine thing. There's not too much to complain about in this episode. I'm gonna give it 4.5 ghost snitches.
Yeah. Fair. So Keith and Jordan, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Tell people where they can find you and promote your stuff.
Yeah, I'm on social media. I'm at Keith Tells Jokes. I got a podcast called This Is Not a Show. That's about what I'm up to.
Yeah, I'm on social media. I'm Sweet Baby Girl Stitchin'. And I have a podcast coming out sometime in December. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how much information I'm allowed to give out yet, but
I have nothing to do with it.
No,
Whoa.
got nothing. Yeah.
So it'll actually be listenable.
Yeah, it's gonna be Katrina Davis, Andrea Gazzetta, and me.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Oh, I have a feeling I know where this is going then. That's very exciting. That's really cool. I'm
awesome.
super excited about that. That's
nice.
gonna be really good.
Sweet.
Awesome. Well, if you like this episode and you want to give us maybe some notes about a future one or just want to say hi to us, you can send us an email.
Ghostfacerspodcast@gmail.com.
Reach out to us through all of our social media platforms. We're everywhere.
We're Ghostfacerspod on everything.
And if you liked...
But not on TikTok. We're in our 30s, goddammit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on there, but I'm mostly just lurking.
Yeah, we're actually both lurking on TikTok.
Oh, incredible. Because I keep getting I worked at Starbucks for long enough that all the 17-year-olds were like, you need to get on TikTok. I was like, I am far too old to be involved in your shit.
Look, here's the thing. The benefit is it seems to so far the algorithm does not send underage girls to me, which I'm very happy about. It's mostly all just
here I thought the algorithm was foolproof.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be honest with you. You're running a supernatural themed podcast. The algorithm's gonna.
You know what? You'd be surprised. The algorithm is exactly where it needs to be. It's all middle-aged moms, exactly where I want to be.
Hell yeah, dude.
But if you like this podcast, you might be interested in our other podcast.
Yeah, check out the Dr. DC podcast. It's about DC Comics. Keith has been on a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
We answer listener questions about silly superhero shit.
We talk about Superman with Batman watching a squid monster.
Watching tentacle porn.
Yeah.
I forgot we did that. That was great.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. If you like just hearing the weird lore stuff, you like learning the rules of how stuff works, then yeah, if you like it for superheroes, check that out.
Absolutely. Jordan, Keith, please say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Say goodbye, bitch.
Jerk.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.